I'm a pull a old wound. I'm a mess with an old flesh wound
Wait,
in the
so this
in
fourth
the
what if is going to be a flesh wound.
no, not a flesh wound. This is gonna be a gash. I should say it's not gonna be a flesh wound. It's gonna be a gash. It's gonna
Ooh.
I'm
All
gonna
right,
bring out an old old in
I'm ready.
history. All right, let's talk about the DTF era. Okay, you remember the DTF era? That was when Ben Roethlisberger decided to act a fool
Uh,
with the chicks that had on the DTF uh,
yeah.
pins in Georgia,
Okay. Okay.
right? And he got into some hot water, right? I don't know if you remember. There was obviously you had the suspension that was looming, and they weren't sure, if it was going to be 6 games, 10 games, whatever, right? But there was a lot of speculation and rumor of Ben Roethlisberger getting traded that year in 2012. And there was one team in particular that it was almost a done deal
I know you're
um,
talking about.
as well. And it was the San Francisco
Yep.
49ers. Okay.
Yep.
What if the Steelers pulled the trigger in 2012 because they wanted to get rid of the for because that would have been 100% PR move. We're about, yeah, and it would have been justified 100%. Like I would have absolutely been like, hey, great job. I'm like I'd have backed them.
Yeah, I'd be lying to say if I wouldn't have said. I would have said, you
Yeah,
know what?
I would
I get it.
100% back them. But I backed them too because they also forgave him too. So it was a redemption. So either way, it was so. But at any rate, um, it would have been interesting to see how that would have unfolded Steeler history because we would have been back to square one on a quarterback, and we would have shut like our quarterback situation would have been uh ooh wee.
We'd have been rolling with Chuck Batch for a couple
Who we
years.
had Chuck? We had Chuck Batch and was
Byron.
Leftwich still? Yeah, yeah. And I think that's the only reason why they was even like that was one of the reasons why they were even considering it because they're like, man, we could probably at least have a stopgap.
So the first thing, if Ben gets traded in 2012, there's no AB.
Correct.
There's no young money. Mike
Correct.
Wallace probably never makes it out of Pittsburgh with a contract.
Correct. Correct.
Manuel Sanders, I think, may have not done much, but he probably still would have went somewhere because he was a good route runner. He's a good.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
there definitely would have been some losing seasons. There's no doubt in
Oh,
my mind.
my Lord have mercy.
Man, if there were losing seasons in that time frame, you may have started to see someone like Debo leave early and go flourish somewhere else. You have meant Troy probably not because Troy's just not that guy. Troy's a different guy in a
Yeah.
good way. Because if you remember, part of the reasons why the Steelers couldn't win the Super Bowl with the big threes because that defense was getting rebuilt and it was putrid for a while.
It was terrible.
I think there's a not only it's putrid quicker, but it's putrid longer
Dude.
if Ben goes away. Now I don't know what they would have received for him, even if they got a first round pick. I don't know. Yeah, there would have been
For
no.
Sam, yeah, yeah. Now let me ask you a question. Was the timeline on the allegations and stuff were in the trade rumors, were they looking to do that around the draft or was it after the draft? That's the only part I cannot remember.
Neither can I. Even if it was after draft, I mean, was it 2013?
That was 2012.
But if they would did it after the draft, would that have been 2013
It
draft?
would
Like
have
I
been
say, if they would
20.
have traded Ben and
Yes.
got 2013, right?
Yes. Yes.
Here, let me look at this.
Correct.
I have another
Yeah.
screen here. So
As do I.
2013 NFL draft.
This was not the greatest draft in the world.
The first QB and the only QB in the first round that year was EJ Manuel.
Oh, God.
He went to Buffalo.
Dude.
Second quarterback taken was Geno
Well,
Smith.
well, I mean, we took Jarvis Jones.
We did take Jarvis Jones.
I mean, we could have did any worse.
So wait, hold on. Let's do that. So 49ers, the 49ers that year,
They picked Eric Reed, but it looked like they traded.
they picked Tank Carradine.
Oh,
Sure.
jeez.
Oh, yeah, they picked Eric Reed, that DB. So they picked 18. So the Steelers would have been picking right around the same. You know what? They might have been picking long later because Ben probably would have had them, doing well unless he served like a really long suspension.
It might have been a mess. And even if they waited a year to go the next, let's say that next year,
2014.
bro, we would have like if we'd have had a bad year that next year, because that probably would have been the case.
I know.
We'd have
I
been
just thought we were going to have.
staring down the barrel of the Blake Bortles gun, bro. Like,
Or Johnny
dude,
Manziel.
oh no, 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 no.
Maybe Teddy Two Gloves.
Oh my gosh,
Teddy
bro.
Two Gloves might have got us to our 8-8 or 9-8, whatever. But yeah, I
Bridgewater.
mean,
Wow. Oh, dude.
dude, that is. So what if, man, it would have set this franchise back a while, and it
You
would have been
think
a
you,
long time before we got out of
bro?
it.
You think that we, the Yinzers are going insane right now, finishing 10-7, and with a loot. Like, could you imagine? They gave up the franchise quarterback, and then after that went back into a dark age. Still in
Bro,
football.
even if you went to 2015, then you got Jameis and Marcus Mariota.
Dude, it's bad. It is so bad.
It is
The
bad. Wait, hold on. Where's the third quarterback taken in 2015? There wasn't even one taken in the second round. What? Like,
dude,
yeah, let's tank for a quarterback. That works all the time.
yeah.
Jesus criminy. The
Arch
third
Manning
quarterback
is not a
taken was
sure thing,
Garrett
y'all.
Grayson.
Yeah. Arch Manning is not a sure thing. I don't care how many times people
No,
scream it out
listen,
loud.
I was one of them, and you know what? Part of it is because he's a Manning. You know what? And he looked good at least initially at Texas. But you're right. We don't know. I will tell
Right.
you this though: the quarterbacks that tend to do the best in the NFL, or the ones that have a right around or a little bit above 500 record in college,
Yeah.
the ones that deal with adversity.
Yep.
Not the ones that go 21-1 at Alabama and Ohio State and blow everybody out of the
Mm-hmm.
water. They get the
Mm-hmm.
NFL like, oh shit, there's actually competition.
Yeah.
Garrett Grayson was the third quarterback taken. Went to New Orleans and picked 75. It went pick 1, pick 2, and then pick 75.
Dude.
All right, I'm gonna go one more, and then I'm gonna get on. I got one for you. So 2016, because they'd have been picking high probably for a while, right?
Well, wow.
Jared Goff, I take that. Carson Wentz.
Okay. Yeah.
Could have worked with that maybe. Now again,
The
that's
Yin-
pick 1 and 2.
the
Would
the
they have been
Yinzers would have
picking 1
lost
and
their
2?
minds if they'd have taken Carson Wentz. They'd be like, who?
Hey, you know who's the third quarterback after that in that year? Your boy Paxton Lynch. Pick 26 to the Broncos, bro. That would have been
Broncos.
your Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback, bro.
Oh God. What's the next Ben
Paxton
Roethlisberger?
Lynch. But we're gonna tank for a quarterback, man. This is what good teams do. They have
This
losing
is the
seasons so they can go get players like this.
yes, yes. See, I bring up things like this to bring perspective to people, you know, because these things are absolutely like, or we you're just a one decision away. You know what I mean? Like
One decision away from catastrophe.
from dark ages. Stephen A. Smith might have been like, "How about them Steelers?" Instead of talking about how about them Cowboys.
Right. Exactly.
You know?
There are some dark. And by the way, all these teams that I've mentioned, I think a lot of them are still picking in the top 10
They're
because they
still
don't have a
picking.
quarterback. But
Right.
yet they're picking there, right?